My name is Shauna Ballas, and I'm from Winnipeg, Manitoba. It is beautiful, beautiful here today. We've got Rico on the call. Rico, thanks for joining us. We're going to have an exciting night tonight, a little bit of a change. And we've got a special guest today that's going to be imparting his wisdom as he always does. And glad to have Renee, who is coming on with us tonight. It's an exciting time. The company is really changing in many different ways, and we are on the cusp of greatness. The world is changing, and we are changing with the world. So it's exciting to be part of this exciting time with Opulence Global, and to hear what they are imparting for us to do, how we are going to accomplish all the greatness and have an opulence lifestyle. We see that Renee, thank you for coming on today. I have actually posed myself in front of one of the paintings in my home. I'm an art collector, but this is the painting that reminds me of you, because what it is, it's all these little people crawling up. They're actually 3D people crawling up man's legs.
Wow,
And
very interesting.
that
Thank
really
you.
reminds me, everyone wants a part of you. And because you got such great knowledge, please welcome our speaker for today, Renee Liao. Renee's entrepreneurial journey began in 2007 when he joined Opulence Global as a side hustle. With exceptional determination, he swiftly doubled his annual income of 80,000 within 16 months, leading him to leave his IT job at a major Canadian telecommunications company. What followed was truly extraordinary, as Renee achieved remarkable monthly income of 100,000 with a mere 7,000 individuals in his organization. Today, his team has grown to over 28,000 individuals across 130 countries. That's incredible, Renee. No wonder you're the youngest millionaire. As one of Opulence's top earners, Renee enjoys a substantial five-figure weekly income and proudly drives a Tesla P90D provided by the Opulence Club car. As a dedicated family man, he cherishes traveling the world with his family. They're all into tennis. They're all champions. We see them online all the time. Recently, Renee invested in a magnificent custom-built $5 million home. Wow, congratulations. With his profound dedication and exceptional leadership, Renee is a founding member, shareholder, and a valued advisory board member of Opulence Global's CEO. He has been twice honored with the prestigious President Cup Award. Please join me giving a warm welcome to Renee Liao. And Renee, my first question to you before you start your agenda: how does it feel to be in an opulent lifestyle?
Well, first of all, yeah, thank you, Shauna. I actually wanted to commend you first of all and say that you can take any edification and make it sound like 100 times better. So thank you so much for that very kind introduction. And yes, good morning, good afternoon, good evening to all of our partners on the call. And it's a loaded question. It's something that I wake up every morning and I give so much blessed thanks to the life that I have today. And I think because where I came from, I'll never ever forget um, to cherish what I have today. But at the same time, I'm not finished yet. I'm not even getting close to being finished. I have a lot more I want to achieve, even beyond what I have already achieved. And I hope that all of you take that into the same kind of mindset. So, and I guess first of all, let me just apologize for my background. As you can see, I'm actually literally packing because we're actually moving out of this house. We got to stage it and sell it. So, my life, if you think you're busy, my life was already busy before this moving, and it's even super extra busy now. But you know what? That's a beautiful thing is that this business is meant for busy people. It's not meant for just bored people or people that have all the time in the world. It's meant for people who are busy, but who want to start to earn back some of their time. And so tonight, I'm very excited to be on this call. It's been a while. I've been traveling a lot, of course. And tonight we have a training topic that I just can't wait to dive into. So if you do have a piece of paper and pen, you will need it tonight because you'll see why. So please, please, please take a few moments just to secure yourself a pen and paper. I actually bought this really fancy pen in Japan when I was there, and it's all like in Japanese and stuff. So I have my pen and paper already ready, and because I always make notes. So one of the things I want to start off by asking people is, what do you feel is happening in your business right now? And this is to be absolutely honest here, right? Because we're here to assist everyone to getting to their dreams and their promise list and their targets. So in your business, right? What do you feel is happening? Do you feel like there's momentum? Do you feel like it's kind of slow? And I want to ask that question, right? Are you checking your back office? Are you looking at your volume? Okay, so some of it's kind of standing still. All right. So let's get everyone to participate, right? And this is a great time because my training topic tonight is exactly how to get your business into huge momentum. And so I want to see from all of you, what are you feeling right now in your business, right? Is it do you feel like you're not connected? Do you feel like you're kind of connected? Do you feel like you're doing a lot for your business? Do you feel like you're just kind of doing a little bit? All right. So, an important part of this question is I want you to know for yourself because one of the things is that if you feel like things are moving slowly, yet, perhaps you might be feeling like, well, it seems like other teams are moving really fast, or other people are moving really fast, but maybe you feel like you're moving a bit slower. So who here feels that? Who here feels like they see some people and these people are moving really fast and they're always excited and they're always doing something. And then you might be feeling, well, but for me, I don't really feel that way, and I see it over there. Fantastic. But why am I not there? Wonderful. So I see a few people who are saying me, I feel it. Wonderful. Well, it's not wonderful, but it's wonderful that you're giving that feedback because I always believe that in order to improve upon ourselves, we have to be able to first admit that we are doing something or that we are in a certain situation that can be improved upon, right? So I want you to write one word down on your piece of paper. And there's one word, we're going to talk a little bit about that, or a lot actually, because this one word is really what sets fast moving teams from slow moving teams. This is what sets fast moving people or individuals to slow moving people or individuals. And that word begins with the letter C. Yeah, I mean, momentum, John, is definitely part of that. It's part of this other word that I would say. But this word kind of encapsulates umbrella type of a viewpoint, like a bird's eye view, right? So this word starts with a C, and commitment is also part of it, but that's very, very direct. Um, there's seven letters. Okay, there's seven letters in this word. Begins with a C. Let's see if anyone can guess. Yes, Charlene Lewis has got that word, culture. I want you to write the word culture in big capital letters on your piece of paper. And I think you can all agree, right? Like the fastest moving companies or the fastest moving teams in different companies. Every company, you'll have some people that move really quickly, some people that just they're pumping, 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 and you'll have the same company, same product, same comp plan, same everything, yet it seems like they're more stagnant or they're more still. And we have an awesome culture already in Opulence Global Family. And what I'm talking about tonight, though, is what is the culture that you have in your team when it comes to a few different areas? And we're going to talk about those areas right now. So, culture, right? The first thing I want you to write down under culture is, do you have the culture of talking about cost transition? Because it's something that the CEO and the company has been talking a lot about, but are you absorbing it? Are you taking it in and actually applying it? And for me, every day I'm seeing my sons, training for tennis. Even today, I was trying to remind my oldest son, when the ball comes in high, you better jump back first, let the ball come down lower, and then you attack forward. And it's like I keep telling him that, and he does it sometimes, but he doesn't do it other times. So he hasn't fully adopted that particular, in this sense, that culture, right? So the question is, have you fully adopted to the cost transition culture? And it's very important that we all do, because instantly that's going to raise the income of everyone in your team, right? Always write this down, right? If something is acceptable to you, then it's acceptable to your team. So if you accept that your smart buy being 150 is okay, then that becomes the acceptability to your team. If you don't accept that your monthly smart buy should be just 150 and should be 450, then your team also will start to have that same kind of acceptance, right? So it comes down to what, like, in your own mind, right? Are you 100% confident and clear that at the very least, you know, uh, that we should be cost transitioning everything that we already use to using this company's products? And if you were to do that, then your smart buy would have no reason why your smart buy is not $450, especially for a family. If you're single, maybe, I mean, it's pretty close, especially if you have a family. You gotta buy a few bottles of FOL, a few bottles of Divine. You gotta have your toothpaste. You gotta have your, shampoo, body wash, and conditioner. You gotta have the Fairy Flawless, right? I mean, again, there's so many products that we have, and we actually are coming out with something that's very, very cool. It's called the Opulence scorecard, and I cannot wait till we release this, because the Opulence scorecard is going to mark you basically based upon the use cases, right? So scorecard, fountain of life, check, right? And there's a score. Divine, check, and there's a score. Toothpaste, spray, mouthwash, right? I mean, I literally have every single product, and I use every single product that the company makes. In my car, I have mouthwash and the mouth spray, and I have the Sterling lotion, and of course, I mean, I always have the toothpaste, and of course, fountain of life. I mean, I'm constantly using all the products, because why wouldn't I, right? If I want to promote a product, I must use the product first. And we have super amazing products, right? Of course, you also have Fairy and Posh, right? So I cannot wait till we release this scorecard. But right now, let's do this together, team. Let's just have some fun here, right? So on a piece of paper, let's write down all of the products that we have. I mean, there's 30 use cases, right? There's 30 use cases. Because again, you have shoes, you have belts, timepieces, earring, all that stuff, right? But we'll make it a bit more fun today, a bit more shorter. Write down, okay, number one, FOL. All right. Number two, let's write down Divine, which is going to come out soon. Number three, let's write down the toothpaste. Toothpaste. Number four, okay, let's write down Sterling, which is our lotion. Number five, let's write down the mouthwash. Number six, let's write down the mouth spray. Number seven, let's write down captive or sensual. That's the body wash, shampoo, and conditioner, right? Number eight, let's write down the fairy spray, the microsilver MS, well, for short, microsilver spray, right? Number 9, let's just put fairy slash posh. I don't think I'm missing. Oh, we're missing one thing. Number 10, of course, flawless, which is the skincare line, right? Yeah. So I have 10 things. FOL, Divine, toothpaste, Sterling, which is a lotion. That's number 4. I have mouthwash for number 5, mouth spray for number 6, Captive Sensual for number 7, number 8, the Fairy Microsilver Spray, number 9, the Fairy and the Posh Fashion Line, and number 10, Flawless. Did I miss anything? I better not have. That would be super embarrassing. Let me just take a double check here. I didn't miss anything. I have all the product always here with me. Yes, I do believe I have gotten everything. All right. So let's give each of these products out of 10 a score of 10. So altogether, you're going to have 100. So for me, I have 100 out of 100. Oh, yes, Maria, thank you so much. Collagen is number 11. Yeah. But that's going to be a bit later. But yeah, thank you, Maria, for that. You caught that one. But for now, let's out of 10. It's makes it easier. We do it out of 10 because Divine's coming. Have you ordered your Divine, right? Or are you planning on ordering it with your shopping credits, right? So out of 10, let me see your scores. All right, John scored 100. Way to go, John. And someone scored 10, but I think they meant 10 out of 10 or 100%. Look at this. I love this. 100. So many hundreds, right? So again, this is the culture I'm talking about, right? And so imagine if this was the culture of your team was to cost transition. Look, we all brush our teeth. We all wash our hair. We all have, I hope you use skincare. You want to stay young, right? If you don't, you should because in this business, you're promoting a health business and you want to look young and healthy, right? It just kind of goes hand in hand, right? If you ever travel, you want to have the spray. If you better be wearing shoes, timepieces, all the fashion because you might as well be wearing what you're marketing and not marketing someone else's brand, right? Um, so right. And I have a feeling that whoever did score 100 is not putting their score. Again, don't be embarrassed. That's okay because we're not here to say, "Oh, look at you, you didn't get 100%." It's not about that. As long as you understand what we're talking about tonight is just cost transition. And some of you, maybe you're only using like 20, your score is like 20%. If your score is anywhere below 80%, like an A, then you want to get to an A. If you're sitting around under 50%, then maybe that's a good indicator for why your business is not the same as other people. I can guarantee you, what do you think every top leader in this company has as a score? What do you think every top leader in this company or every fastest moving builders have as a score? What would you guess? Yeah, for sure, 100%. You know that already. But culture starts where? Write this down. Culture starts with who? It starts with me, right? It must start with you. If it's acceptable for you, if it's not acceptable for you to not have 10 out of 10 or 100%, then it won't be acceptable for your team, right? It starts with you. All right. So you can imagine, right? If you were to do this as a smart buy, right? Easily you'd be at 450 smart buy, which then allows you to fully maximize the comp plan, right? Again, at 250, you're already maxing the comp plan. It's just that you're not banking volume on center 2 and 3, right? If you don't know what that means, don't worry. It just means that you're maxing the comp plan, you're earning the full potential, but in the future, if you want to earn even more, you're not banking because you can build on in the future your second and third business center to double and triple your income, but you're not going to bank the volume if you're not at 450. So again, if your culture becomes, guys, you know, every single time you do a testimonial for products, right? What do you think your testimonial should be? Oh, I love to use just Fountain of Life, or I just like to use Divine. Imagine you go in front of the room and that's your testimonial, right? Imagine what it's doing to what it's going to be harming your own business, right? Because that's what you're setting as the acceptability and the expectations in your team. So, but if you go in front of the room and you say, my goodness, I use all of the products and I love every single one of it, that you're now setting the standard, right? You know, Candies, which is our new North American sales development manager, he said something in the first time I met him. I was listening to him do a quick little speech at our Wednesday night meeting, and he said something that stuck with me. And what he said was that in response to someone saying that, you know, Fountain of Life or some of the products might be too expensive, someone in the Wednesday night meeting, we had a little powwow sizzle post tour, and someone will say, well, some people tell me that the products are too expensive. And what he said was, that's because you're selling just one bottle, because she was. And he said that the way, again, he's been in sales his whole life, right? And he's like a master when it comes to direct sales. And what he said in response was that the way that he would sell the products is, hey, so can I start you off with a family pack? So you don't start by selling one bottle. You start by saying, so would you like to take a family pack home with you? 12 plus one or 14 plus two now. Oh, no, 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 no. I mean, that's too many. Well, how about six bottles? Well, no. Well, how about three? Okay, right? So what happened now just there? What happened just now with that strategy of leading with the expectation, right, of buying a family pack? Some people struggle to sell one bottle because they're only selling one bottle. But if you start, yeah, so again, Charlene said it great, it's top-down selling. If you start with a higher quantity or a higher number, well, that's going to be like $900, whatever it might be, or $1,000. And now they're just going to buy two bottles, it's only maybe 100 and something. So the same thing goes with the 30 use cases, or in tonight, our Opulence scorecard is if you set the expectation that you use 10 out of 10, 100% of all the products, then that becomes a norm. And if someone, ends up only getting five of them, hey, great. But the challenge that I think we're seeing right now, and maybe you're guilty of it. I know that I was guilty of it before the CEO gave me this training, is maybe right now you're only talking about one product. If you're only talking about one product, then you're underselling everything else. And if they don't want that, then you lost a sale. But if you talk about 10 products and you go over this beautiful safe home revolution, I mean, who here has read this thing from start to finish? I mean, I enjoyed it. Took me a few minutes, but I loved reading everything about this, especially the new divine part at the very back, right? So, you know, this, talk about all the products. Okay, so we talked about tonight that we're going to have an options scorecard. I'm very excited to have that. It's going to be coming out very, very soon. And so that's the culture we're talking about, right? I'm going to shift gears here really quickly and we'll move to the second part, which is how many of you here can say that you are working in the business? You are working the business. Like you're working, I hear some people say, I'm working so hard. I'm doing so many things for the business. I'm really working hard. How many of you here can say that you're working hard in the business? Okay. Pour it in, guys. Hmm. Hmm. Decaf. Yeah. Being late at night. Okay. No, okay, so yeah, so for less of that, no worries. Again, whatever's not available in your country, you would just remove it from your scorecard. So then you would have 7 items. So if you score 7 out of 7, it's still 100%. All right. So thank you for that, Lesminda. That's correct. Some countries don't have all the products. So if you're in a country that has all of the products, well, how lucky are you then, right? Okay. I love Karen Henry's, very, very honest. I'm working hard, but I could be working much harder. And so need to work smarter. Thank you, Larry. Yep, Marie says, I work very hard to build my business and my team. I see that, Marie Baptiste, 100%. So we had an opulence. Maybe not. Some people are saying that I need to work harder or work smarter, but maybe it's the question is, well, what are you actually doing? What are you actually working on? So you know how we just had the opulence scorecard for your use cases? Well, then there's another scorecard that is coming out really soon, and it's going to be called the forensic scorecard. The forensic scorecard. I love this. Again, I hope you have your pen and paper. That's why I want you guys to have a pen and paper because we got to write this down, right? Write down huge capitals, forensic scorecard. That is the next part. Forensic scorecard. And there's going to be four components of this. Okay. Each component has a weight value of 25%. So there's four components. Every component again is worth 25%. So the first part of the, again, it's not even hard things. The first part of the first 25%, the first quarter, write this down, is welcoming all of your new partners. Number one, welcoming, welcoming all of your new partners. Number one, that's worth 25%. Okay. So we call it welcome to be short. Number two, okay, is thanking for all new orders. We call it thanks for short. What does that mean to give thanking for all new orders? So in other words, every time you see volume coming in from your team, like every day, especially if you've been here for a while, you should be able to see exactly who put volume into your team. Now, I know you might be thinking, well, Renee, how do I contact all of these people to thank them? For example, if I saw today 100 people and I had nothing else I could think of doing to build my business, well, 25% of my day after I welcome these people is to thank them. you know. So I would call and say, hey, Brian, I saw that you actually had placed an order or you had your monthly shopping carts go through. Just want to reach out to you, say thank you so much. If you ever need anything, give me a call. Can I assist you in any fashion? Right? Now you're probably thinking, well, how do I call people if I don't have their phone numbers or their emails? Right? I'm so excited to share with you that the company has found a way to protect the privacy of your partners and your downlines, but not giving you the phone numbers and the emails away. And what's going to happen is there's, as part of the system, which when I was speaking and exchanging some communication with our CTO, Caesar, he told me hopefully by, let me tell you exactly what he said to me, because it's better that I actually don't change the wording of this because it might confuse people. So what he said was, here it is. So we have a solution to create a phone call without compromising the privacy of the customer. Of course, because sometimes people might come and leave and we want to make sure we protect the people. Is exactly how Uber works while you are on this trip. Do you know how you take Uber or you call it Uber Eats? And you know, you can contact people through that. But once, if someone were to leave or the trip finalizes, you can't contact them anymore. We do the same thing. So This is going to be a premium feature, an additional feature, a premium feature. There's going to be a small fee for it. You can use your map to do it, but it basically allows you to communicate. I'm assuming through the app, or perhaps you can call them through the system. Again, without getting access to phone numbers or emails, but allow you to reach out to your people in your team that are generating you volume. Like, how cool is that? So, I can think of a few people who have probably been in the business for a long time and they have a large team, and sometimes confusion sets in. They're like, well, what do I do? What do I do? Right? Well, forensic scorecard. Did you welcome all of your new partners this week? And number two, did you thank all of the new orders, all the new CV that came in from people? Like, that is so cool. So again, so I asked him when are we going to have it, and he said so you know me, right? ETA, right? He says, I do have the system in place and the logic, but I will need to adapt it to this customized solution. That needs a couple of designs from Ivy, a couple of programming here and there. I would make it possible in 2 weeks, around April 23rd. Wow, this month. So you can test and feedback and be ready for May 1st. So he says, what do I think? I says, what do I think? Wow, that would be perfect. Thank you, right? So that is something that I think, you know, like this forensic scorecard needs to become the culture of your team. Two cultures, right? The Opulence scorecard and the forensic scorecard. And boom. Okay, I'm getting so excited. All right. That was the second part. The second 25% was thanking the new orders, right? Okay, the third 25% of the forensic scorecard is you had to contribute here, right? Is did you make new appointments? Or we're going to call it appointments for short. Welcome, thank, appointments. Okay, so did you schedule, right, new appointments this week, right? And that month is Superman. Definitely our CEO is a Superman. He created this stuff, so he has this brain just to simplify things so well and make it simple. So making new appointments. What does that mean, right? Did you schedule new tours, right? Like, did you prospect? Did you hand out brochures? I always train this, right? On a daily basis, you should be handing out at least 20 brochures. Everywhere I go, everything I buy, I try to find someone and I offer a brochure. I guarantee you, on a daily basis, if all you did was hand out brochures, you would have such crazy sales happening and you'd be so busy because it can just build that quickly, right? Now, last Saturday, I was on a training, I hope you were on too, where Tammy and Sherry were talking about retail sales. Now, these booklets here are beautiful, right? And, but of course, it's not something that, if you have the money, you don't care about the printing cost. But Tammy and Sherry share something that I forgot, and this strategy is not to save money. That's not the key point of the strategy. It's to create more importance. So what they do is they want to give this to their prospects, and they tell their prospects, look, I only have about three of these left. Can I let me lend it to you, and let me get it back from you in about 3 days, or we can meet up and get it back sometime next week. So they want to give it to the person because what they don't want to do is give away this beautiful catalog and have that person go home and toss it in the garbage because they know they have to go and give it back to you at some point in time. So it also allows you to schedule the appointment because you can meet them again. So you have another exposure to do your follow-up. So again, that's a great tip. Again, the key thing is not to try to save money. I mean, that's an added benefit. But the key thing is to make it so that they actually read it, they don't throw it in the garbage. And of course, you can follow up another time by getting it back, right? Now they're going to launch, they'll get their own brochures, right? But that's such a cool strategy. And again, so even for me to this day, like Never ever think that you've reached the absolute pillar of learning. You know, there's always more to learn. And that's why I always attend the training calls. Beyond that, I want to stay up to date and fresh in everything that I do. All right. So that's number three was making new appointments. Thank you, Reza. Making new appointments, number three, right? Okay. So we have welcome, thank, appointments. The last 25%, okay, is a combination of did you rank advance? And I think we'll call it qualify. Did you qualify? Okay. Did you qualify for either rank advancement? Did you qualify for MGRS, car bonus, variance bonus, the upcoming commission boost, right? Did you, and this should be on a monthly basis, right? Did you qualify? So we're going to use short form qualify. We have welcome, right? We have thank, we have appointments, and we have queue for qualify. That's also worth 25%. Now, this is what's going to be so interesting now. Early on, before we started the forensic scorecard, we asked you a question. The question was, are you working hard in your business? Okay. And a lot of people, thank you for your responses, right? Now, let's everyone complete this forensic scorecard. And we'll do it, let's say, from the 1st of April. That's more than a week now. So in the last week, what's your score? Okay. Now, if you welcomed maybe a few people, not everyone, then you wouldn't give yourself 25%. You may give yourself 15%, right? Now, the thanking the new orders, I think all of us got zero because we don't have that as part of the system yet. But so maybe so for now we won't score that second one. Okay, the thank one because we don't have it as part of the system yet. Although there is a way of looking at it, but it takes more time. We won't score that for now. Okay. So welcome 25%. Make new appointments. Did you make at least one new appointment? If you did, 25%. 25 out of 25, right? If you didn't, then that's zero. Okay. And the last 25% was, well, maybe look at it from last month. Did you rank advance, get qualified for MGS or car bonus or variance bonus or commission boost? At least one of those things. So out of 75, what was your score? Because sometimes people say, I was really working really hard. I was really working really hard. Now, if you worked really hard and all you did was welcome new members, your score will be 25 out of 75. So even though you're thinking you're working really hard, and I was really working really hard to say I was really working hard, but you're just welcoming new partners. And you missed out on, in reality, another 75%, but for today's situation, another 50%, right? So wonderful, right? Let's see your scores. Okay, don't be shy. Let's put in your scores, right? Let's see what happened here. Because the one thing that the CEO wants everyone to realize is when you say you're working really hard, really, what are you working hard on? There has to be a balance of some sort, right? Okay. So wonderful. Thank you guys for your scores, right? Last month, I know I was a 75. Well, I was 75. So if again going back to what we were saying earlier on today, if you're looking at other people and you're seeing like, wow, how come this person moves so quickly and they move so fast and they're doing so many things, but you think you're busy, but you're not getting the same results. Well, this forensic scorecard is a great diagnostic tool to see what's wrong with the system, what's wrong with your system, right? Yeah, it's a great checkup from the neck up, right? Check what's going on between the ears. And are you doing the things that you should be doing? So if you realize that, well, maybe I'm making a lot of new appointments, but then I'm not really rank advancing or getting qualified for different bonuses, then that's something that you can work on, right? It's probably your closing process. I remember I was doing a bit of a quick training discussion with someone in our team, and I just wanted to remind them that the closing of a deal doesn't happen during the tour. Like the closing of a prospect of a customer or of a new partner happens before the presentation and after the presentation. The presentation is just information. Some people make the mistake of doing a lot of closing in the presentation. That's not the time to do it, right? You want to get the presentation done and then continue with closing afterwards, right? Save some of that nice talk after. So closing always happens before the presentation and after the presentation, right? That like and trust that you build. So, I hope that today we all have all got yeah, the real meeting is after the meeting. Thank you, John. I love that, right? So who here tonight has got some value? Who here got something out of today's training, right? Wonderful. I'm glad that at least one person, right, got something of value from tonight's training. And I hope that you take what you learned tonight and this becomes the culture of your team. When you meet up with another partner, hey, what was your friend's scorecard? Right? 5%, right? Zero, I don't know, right? Or someone asks you, well, how do you do it? How do you do it, Maria? How do you always sell product? How do you, or Henry, how do you get to six figures in your first year? Oh, my forensic scorecard is 100. What's that? What's this forensic scorecard? Oh, you don't know it? Well, let me tell you what it is. My forensic scorecard is 100 and my Opulence scorecard is 100. So bringing all of this back to the culture word, right? Can you imagine now if this becomes this is the culture we are all leading with going forward? Yeah, I love the simplicity, right, Karen? Absolutely, right? But imagine, right? If this is the culture of every single person, every leader, every team in this company, can you imagine what's going to happen for this company and your business, right? It's going to explode. There's some other exciting news that the new tour is like our CEO just took the last glance at it today. It looks beautiful. I haven't seen it yet. Our new North American sales development manager, of course, Kambis has actually done that. So I cannot wait to see it, right? So there's so many things happening in the company. And I'll admit, like in the past, let me know if you've ever experienced this before, right? Where there's so much excitement in the company, like new product divine, whatever it is, collagen, that somehow you just naturally think, well, I'm going to make more money, right? Like you just naturally think, well, somehow that magically you'll make more money. And I'll be honest, I was guilty of that before. I thought, oh, I can now sit back and I can relax because the vine's coming and collagen's coming. I can sit back and relax. Okay. I know Maria never does. In reality, when you have this much excitement, I can promise you the culture is everything. It's so important, right? I think sometimes when you have so much excitement, it's so exciting that some people actually get disoriented. The emotion gets really high and then they kind of get off track. I don't know if this is making sense to anyone here, but my whole point though is that we need, yeah, it's a lot of overwhelming stuff. we need to get people simplified, Opulence scorecard, forensic scorecard. That is going to be the culture moving forward into the future. So I want to get a chance to take some time, of course, to, allow people that might want to come on the line. For me, I love to have a lot of engaging discussions, during our trainings. Any question that you might have about what we talked about tonight, please ask of it. Otherwise, if anyone here would like to share something, just raise your hands and join me on tonight's great call. Yeah, thank you, Reza. Reza is always great at just, talking about the elephant in the room, and he just straight up said it out. We're all guilty of that, right? We're all guilty sometimes, at some point in time, of not having a perfect forensic or opulence scorecard, right? So, so Rez, actually, no, since you're here, we have, of course, the fastest millionaire in the company. Reza, would you like to share a few words? If you can, we can just raise your hands and we can have you unmuted. And anyone else, again, please, don't be shy. This is a safe environment for us to chat with each other and to grow together. Awesome, awesome. So, Reza, let me go find you in the list here and make you, there we go. So, ladies and gentlemen, of course, I must first introduce to you one of my senior business partners, Mr. Reza Mesgarlou, who, of course, used to be a government worker. And, I think everyone has heard of a story where he kind of got in and it was sort of, just kind of cruising along, not doing much. Eventually came to Toronto and saw people like Sherry and myself making some crazy checks. Long story short, he decided after about 2 years of being in the business to start his business, to get focused, like just like the Opulence scorecard and the forensic scorecard, he got serious. And in about 28 months or so, he made a total of $1 million profit in 28 months. That's 2 years, right? Some people don't make $1 million a whole entire lifetime. And he did it in 28 months. So, ladies and gentlemen, the fastest millionaire ever created, Mr. Reza Masgarli. The call's all yours, Reza. Take away, brother.
Oh, Renee, how you doing, brother? Awesome call as usual. I was on the highway leaving Ottawa meeting, and I had to pull on the side of the road because I wanted to hear properly. And I'm
Wow,
still on
thank
the
you.
side. No, great training, brother. Great training, and you know what? Everything you say is gold, and it's true. It's the type of business you pour into it, it'll pour back into you. And you know what? We had this concept of 70-30 and 30-70 in time. And you know what? It all comes down to being forensic, staying forensic, um, you know, not taking it for granted, and absolutely helping as many lives out there as possible. This is what we get paid for bringing relief, we bring in hope, we bring in, options for people who are stuck out there more so now than ever before when it comes to their finances, when they come to their health. To their employment, to their future, and so on and so forth. And Opulence offers all of that and then some. With all the new, the variance bonus, for example. I mean, all the programs that all the bonuses that the Renee talked about. It is absolutely, it's crazy not to take advantage of all this that's before you. We got to do like we used to. I come from, I'm an old school, and the way I learned networking and the way I learned MLM is basically, you help as many people as you possibly can, and you're taken care of as well. That's just the trade. It's a nice trade. What we need to do is basically stay on that point and continue helping people, changing their lives, and so on and so forth. um, this is the kind of company that you will see incomes unimaginable. Like Renee said, I was able to, when I decided, okay, you know what, enough is enough. I go to Toronto, I see Renee's making 20K a month, and she's making, I saw her checks in her hand when we were going to Niagara Falls in the limo. She hadn't cashed it yet. At $13,000 that she has checks in her hand. They were all US dollars too at the time. So I mean, I saw that. I'm like, okay, you know what? This is it. No job is going to get me to where I want to get to. So I need to get serious with this. I got back to Ottawa, pulled my sleeves up, I got to work, and I tell you, the rewards are amazing. The rewards are absolutely insane. And when I say anybody can do it, anybody can do it. I don't care from what background. I don't care what your specialties. I don't care. In Kenya, they call it BBC, born before computers. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter what's your background, your gender, your age, your ethnicity, doesn't matter. This is a global business, and we got the best company as that. That is absolutely there for us 110% of the way. So, yeah, you know what? This is my journey. It's been a great one. It's been amazing. And you know what I'm telling you right now is best is yet to come. The best is yet to come. If you've been listening to these calls and, wondering, can I do it? Well, I tell you what, you absolutely can. You just have to get to work. Your DMO, for example, the DMO is the most important thing. We're always busy. When I had a job and didn't do the business, I was busy. When I had a job, then I started doing the business for the first 6 months, hardcore to get rid of my job. I was super busy. When I got rid of my job and I started doing only this, I was busy. When I started to, go to the beach and take it easy for a little while and become like of support to the team, I was even more busy than when I had a job. So you know what? We got to be smart with our time management. We got to be smart with what we do with our business. And you know what? You get paid for two things only. We only get paid for two things. Okay, not you, anybody and everybody in this industry, especially in our company. Selling products and building a team, right? Now, some people may be stronger at building a team than they're selling products. Some people are stronger at selling the products and building a team. But I'll tell you something: if you're doing it, you'll become a master at it. It's that easy, that simple. We got amazing products, Renee, as you know. I mean, we have stories I can talk about for a week and a half about all these products and what they have done to people and what are the testimonials and so on and so forth. And we have a complaint out of this world, you know. My advice to everyone is, guys, let's make 2024 your year. Let's make starting today, pull up your sleeves and let's get to work. And you're gonna see I'm going to lead by example. I'm going to be all over the place, right? Because this is too good to just sit on the side and just watch. You got to get to work and you got to get to start building that residual, start building that team, start building your retail base. And you know what? You'll be happy that you did that today. It'll be your greatest New Year party, New Year's Eve coming. It'll be your greatest ever, or it'll be the same as the previous ones. I don't know if they were good or bad, but you can change that starting today. So yeah, Renee, thank you very much for the call, man. That's awesome. Always have some great stuff to say. So back to you.
Wow, Reza, thank you so much. It's amazing because you're someone that has been here for since the beginning, and you're still, you drove to the Ottawa meeting, and you're still attending meetings. You're still, you don't have to. You could just sit at home, relax, and enjoy your incomes, but you're still in the field. And that's one thing that I highly respect about all the leaders here, is that we have this, relentless urge to help others succeed. That's number one. But also because I know that, once you hit your income goals, naturally, and it should be like this, you want to strive for more, right? Get to the next version of yourself, right? If you're at version 100, go to 101. If you're at level 1,000, go to 1,001, right? It's a never ending progression in evolution of ourselves, right? So again, thank you, Reza, so much. I know that you guys have a huge meeting, of course, on the 20th with our LD3 Sherry Zhao, who's actually traveling from California to attend the Ottawa meeting, along with, of course, LD4 Ifra as well too, and yourself. So, guys, um, April the
Um,
20th,
Renee, I would like to add one thing.
please.
On 20th, we have three major events. One happens to be in Ottawa, one happens to be in Toronto, and one happens to be in Nairobi, Kenya, which I will be at. So, what you guys want to do, hit the phones and start contacting whether it's the guests to come to the tours in any of those local locations, or if the members they want to come to a boot camp training. It's going to be three major events in three different parts of the world. So just put that on your calendar. People in Kenya, start calling them, start promoting them, sending them out to the tours. You can contact me directly, Nancy Kehika, many of the Kenyan leaders, and ask about these details. I will be sharing the posters with you guys probably tomorrow. And yeah, I mean, if they're Ottawa, great. Toronto, great. If they're in Kenya, Nairobi, awesome. Let's do this.
Amazing. Actually, that's a great point, Reza, because again, bringing it back to culture, right? Is the culture of your team to attend every meeting? if it's unacceptable to you to miss a meeting, that becomes a culture for your team, right? So, culture in the end is really what separates the fast-moving teams, the successful teams, because again, you'll have the same company and you'll have different teams doing different things, right? But it's the culture that is the main differential, is the main, is a common denominator amongst all successful teams. So that being said, thank you so much for tuning in for our weekly Forensic Networker training call. Again, Renee here. I want to wish everyone a fantastic morning, evening, or afternoon. And I turn the call back to our wonderful hostess with the mostest, of course. And thank you, guys, for tuning in. Back to you, Shauna. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Renee. That was amazing. And every time you do a training, there's just so many things that we take away from it. And thank you. I know you're in a very busy time right now with your home, but thank you so much for doing this. So, we've learned two things from Reza, and that is it's either selling or building. And to do that, we need a culture. And that culture starts with me, starts with ourselves. So be able to do that is Larry Hackman said, just such a great line. He said, if you want to get into opulence, you have to let opulence get into you. And that's the culture. And if you don't let opulence, the culture, get into you, then nothing will happen. So this culture that you have imparted to us tonight, number one, cross transition. Number two, opulence scorecard. Number three, forensic scorecard. It's those three things. If we do that on a daily basis, I know that you started the whole, putting in our numbers on the legacy leadership thing was so good. And it keeps you accountable. It kept me accountable. And, even though my numbers were low sometimes, my numbers were high sometimes, every Sunday, I looked back at the numbers that I put on the night. So those kinds of things are very important. So thank you very much for coming up with all these great scenarios. So thank you everyone for coming on. I'll see you on Saturday, and take care, and thanks again. Bye now.
To the billion. Good night, everyone.
Do the billion.